They begged me to take that movie out. That's why. I'm not supposed to be talking about this, but because they felt like too charged and heavy, and things are still good with Ryle at that point, so you don't want to feel that charge. And I was like, the moment Atlas enters.
Blake Lively just got shut down by a judge. And no, not for crimes against fashion, though It Ends With Us outfits were a choice. I'm talking about her desperate legal move to buy herself more time in court. Denied? So, what's the tea? Blake Lively, Hollywood's resident queen of effortlessly perfect hair and casually stealing every red carpet, is locked in a high-stakes, messy AF legal battle with director Justin Baldoni over the It Ends With Us movie. The whole thing is so chaotic, it makes a Real Housewives reunion look like a TED Talk. Blake asked the court for more time until March 5th to fix her 200-page legal complaint. Yes, 200 pages. Girl basically submitted an entire novel. But the judge? Not buying it. Instead of 3 extra weeks, Blake got a tiny weekend extension until February 17th. That's like asking for a sabbatical and getting a long lunch break. So why did the judge basically tell Blake to wrap it up and stop wasting time? What does this mean for her case? And most importantly, who's actually winning this legal battle? Let's break it all down, because this is one Hollywood saga that's giving us courtroom drama with a side of popcorn-worthy pettiness.
Blake Lively has asked for more time to amend her legal complaint because nothing. It means absolutely nothing. It means that they need to probably proofread a 200-page complaint, and it takes forever because they don't want to screw up, because they know the public is reading each and every single letter.
Seems like the judge is catching on. Remember how I told you that Blake and Ryan were asking for an extension in order to submit their amended lawsuit? Well, seems like the judge is going to give them the weekend. Originally, the date for them to submit the amended lawsuit was February 14th. They submitted a letter to the judge to extend it till March 5th, but that date was denied.
All right, folks, let's dive into the legal drama that's got everyone talking. So here's the deal. Blake Lively's legal team filed this monster 200-page legal complaint. Yes, you heard that right. 200 pages. That's practically a Harry Potter book's worth of legal jargon. And trust me, you wouldn't want to read it unless you're a lawyer with an espresso addiction. But then, just a few days ago, Blake's team hit the panic button and asked the judge for an extension. They were like, hey, can we get more time to polish this up? And you can just imagine how that went over in a courtroom. Blake apparently was looking for some extra breathing room to fix up the mess, and who knows, maybe even add more people to the lawsuit. One name floating around, Jed Wallace, a Texas PR guy who's also suing Blake for defamation. Yeah, we're getting a real everyone's suing everyone vibe here. And let's be honest, Blake has more lawsuits right now than she has Met Gala invites. Talk about a wild ride. Now, the extension she was asking for until March 5th, 2025, which in Hollywood legal time is basically an eternity. It's like saying, I'll just finish this script, in forever. But Blake's team argued they needed the time to proofread, fix mistakes, and potentially add Jed to the mix. Because what's a little more drama when you're already in the middle of a full-blown Hollywood legal circus, right? But here's where things get interesting. Blake's request wasn't just about perfecting her case. There's a big reason behind this. The more time she gets, the better chance she has of turning this whole thing around. So the stakes are high and the clock is ticking down. Let's see if this extension ask is about to change everything, or if it's just going to add fuel to the fire. Cue the dramatic music, because here comes the moment of truth. Blake Lively asked for extra time, and the judge denied. Well, mostly. There was a bit of wiggle room here, but trust me, this isn't the outcome Blake's team was hoping for. Here's how it went down. The judge did give Blake a few extra days, shifting the deadline from February 14th to February 17th. That's right, 3 extra days. That's like asking your boss for a 2-week vacation and getting a long weekend instead. Not exactly what you were hoping for, but hey, better than nothing, right? Now, why did the judge give Blake just a tiny bit of time and shoot down the bigger request? Legal experts are saying stall tactics might be at play here. Judges aren't fans of delaying cases indefinitely. They want things to move forward, and they want it now. If you're a Hollywood big shot trying to buy time, you better be ready to explain why. And Blake's team didn't exactly convince the judge they were on some tight timeline that needed a few more months to iron out. And that's not all. The judge also had a little burn up their sleeve. Let's talk about the fact that when Baldoni's team needed an extension because of those wildfires tearing through LA, Blake's team wasn't exactly the most sympathetic. They didn't agree to give them more time back then. And now, when Blake herself asks for a break, the judge might have been like, oh, so now you want a handout? Touche. In fact, we've seen this happen before. When you push back on a reasonable request, it comes back to bite you later. And in this case, Blake's team team didn't just get the cold shoulder, they got a reminder from the judge that Hollywood law is all about balance. The judge wasn't here for any kind of favoritism, especially when one side had previously been denied a break. So now, the real question is, what does this mean for the rest of the case? With a hard deadline just around the corner, Blake has no choice but to work her legal magic under pressure. The ball's now in her court, and it's clear the judge wants this case to wrap up quickly. So, is this the beginning of the end for Blake, or just another twist in this Hollywood courtroom drama? Stay tuned. Alright, buckle up, because this legal roller coaster is far from over. Now that the judge has handed down their verdict, things are heating up on both sides. Let's break down how Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni's teams are reacting to this latest twist. First up, Baldoni's team. They weren't even bothered by Blake's request for an extension. Why? Because, let's be real, they knew it was going nowhere. By the time Blake's legal team made their request, the judge was already over it, and probably over the entire case. Justin's team knew this was the moment they could just sit back and let the court do the talking. And why wouldn't they? They've got a lot on their side right now, including the public sympathy. Let's not forget, Baldoni is Hollywood's nice guy director, the one who's often seen supporting feminist causes and trying to make the world a better place, one movie at a time. Right now, he's the guy caught in the middle of a Hollywood drama that he never asked for. He's like the dad at a high school party who's just trying to keep everyone calm while his kids argue over the last slice of pizza. His fans and the media are rallying behind him, especially when it looks like he's just the innocent bystander in the messiest breakup in Hollywood history. Who's getting the sympathy vote? Baldoni, and that's something Blake's team has to contend with, especially now that the case is turning into a media circus. The question is, how long can this guy stay good guy while he's tangled up in all this drama? Meanwhile, Blake's team is scrambling. The judge just handed them a hard deadline, and sources say they're now working overtime to finish their legal response before the February 17th deadline. You can just picture the scene. Blake's lawyers on the phone flipping through legal briefs like they're in an episode of Suits. They've got no choice but to get it together fast, or they risk losing credibility in the courtroom. And honestly, we all know Blake's probably on the phone with Ryan Reynolds at 2 a.m. like, babe, can you talk to the lawyers? This is getting out of hand. Yeah, I'm betting he's helping. He's got that cool under pressure vibe, right? But here's the thing. Blake isn't out of the game yet. Even though she's on the back foot, her team has been strategically calculating every move since the beginning. This small extension denial could actually be part of a bigger plan to push this case into the public spotlight even more. The more drama, the more people are watching. And Blake has the kind of Hollywood star power that turns legal dramas into water cooler talk for months. Think about it. If she gets the right PR spin, this could turn into a full-on reputation reset for her. But as we move closer to the February 17th deadline, there's a ton of uncertainty. Will the case settle or go to trial? That's the million-dollar question. We've seen mediators stepping in behind the scenes, but experts say because they're using a free court mediator, no one's in a rush to get this case over with. Translation, we're probably headed for trial, and that's when things will really get messy. In the meantime, Baldoni's camp is likely just watching the clock tick down. They're calm, cool, and collected, and it seems like they've got the upper hand right now. But as we've seen in these Hollywood battles, anything can happen. So keep an eye on this one, folks. It's far from over. So now that we've dissected the drama, let's ask the burning question. Who's winning this legal showdown? Is Blake Lively's case slipping, or is she just getting started? Here's what we know so far. First, let's talk about Blake Lively. The fact that her extension request got denied definitely puts her on the back foot. Judges don't hand out denials for no reason. The fact that they didn't even grant her the full extension she was asking for suggests that the judge may think the case is dragging on too long, or that there are weak spots in her defense. The hard deadline of February 17th doesn't leave a lot of room for error. If her team isn't able to tighten up their case in time, things could go south pretty quickly. And if she loses, well, she could be on the hook for some serious damages. And this case is shaping up to be one of the messiest celebrity lawsuits in recent memory. But that doesn't mean Blake's out of the game just yet. She's got some serious star power on her side, and we all know how a Hollywood name can shift the tide of public opinion. If Blake's legal team can get their act together by the new deadline, they might still be able to salvage this whole thing. This case isn't over until the judge makes a final ruling, and right now, it's still anyone's game. As for Justin Baldoni, it's safe to say he's riding a wave of public sympathy right now. He's got that wholesome, nice guy reputation that Hollywood loves, and the more this case unfolds, the more it feels like Blake is the villain in this drama. He's got the moral high ground on his side, and fans are eating it up. But let's not forget, being in the public's favor doesn't necessarily win you the legal battle. If the case goes to trial, he's still got to prove his case, and that's not a guarantee. Settling seems like it could be a potential way out of this mess, but with a court mediator involved, and not the high-powered private kind, it doesn't look like anyone's rushing to make a deal. This is likely going to court, and the winner will be the one who's prepared to ride out the storm. So who's winning right now? Baldoni's team team has the upper hand for now, but with the February 17th deadline looming, Blake's still got time to turn this around. Stay tuned, because this Hollywood showdown is far from over. So, there you have it. Blake Lively's extension request was denied, and now the clock is ticking down to February 17th. But what does it all mean? Is the judge calling Blake's bluff? Or is this just another chapter in Hollywood's endless supply of legal drama? At this point, it's clear that Baldoni's team is riding high with the public sympathy and legal momentum, while Blake's team is scrambling to get their case together under a tight deadline. But, as we know, Hollywood legal battles are never straightforward. With Blake's star power, she could still turn this whole situation into her favor, provided her team can work some magic before the judge slams down that gavel. What do you think? Is this case falling apart, or is there still a chance for a Hollywood comeback? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, and if you haven't already, subscribe for more wild celebrity legal breakdowns. And remember, if you're ever facing a legal showdown in Hollywood, don't forget to check with your judge first, because you just might get a deadline you didn't see coming.